Hey everybody, this is James from Wix1.com, WIX number 1.com. This is a soft unboxing and review for the Samsung Galaxy S3. It's going to be the blue version. It's going to be a 16 gig and it's going to be pretty cool. Let's get to it. There's the box. This one's on Rogers Wireless. It's got LTE. Alright, well, there's the phone. We'll get to that just in 20 seconds here. Let's go through the box real quick. Get some handy dandy, how-to guides. You got the usual few different languages. This is the SGH1747. So this is the North American version. And it's pretty good so far. So let's take a look what else we get in here. Got some biodegradable Save the Planet bag. Just some random information. You got this Samsung plug, USB plug guy. You get these kind of earbud size stuff for your headphones. Different kind of stuff that can fit in your ear depending on how big your ear is, how small it is. You get some handy dandy headphones. They're pretty long, but I just don't really want to take them out because I'm not going to use them anyway. So, but here is the USB cable, which is actually very long, which I like a lot. Because, you never know when you need it, and half the time when you get this stuff from whatever the manufacturer, it's so small you don't even know, what to do because it's too small. But this one's really quite long. It's well over 6 feet, so it's pretty good. Pretty good quality, decent quality. I find that even when you kind of squished up, it stays squished. So I'm, it's pretty. I find that entertaining. Small things entertain me, All right, so that's the box, and there's a little kind of case guy here for this. Now, okay. So this is the Samsung Galaxy S3. It's a 4.8-inch screen. Runs on LTE. It's 2 gig of RAM this edition. And it's a dual-core Snapdragon 4 chipset. It's a very nice-looking phone. Like it's really posh, kind of. I'll just kind of see if I can get this to. Yeah. Alright, let's take a look at the back here. You can see on the back you got the big 8 megapixel camera, and on the right, well, it's my right, there's a speaker, and on the left there's a flash. On the bottom, just the usual charging port guy. It's a mini, yeah. SD on the inside as well. Let's get this back off to show you what this. Well, the back is very flimsy, by the way. It's that high grade plastic, but I don't think it's going to change anyone's life if it's a little flimsy or not. So the back has got a huge, giant battery. Look at that thing. It's honking huge. It does last quite well. It does. You'll get at least a day, day and a half. So pretty good. this side, the big block, this side is the SIM card. The other one is the SD. Both of them are spring loaded. I repeat, spring loaded. The SD card slot is spring loaded, as many manufacturers are, but in this case, the SIM card slot is also spring loaded. I applaud this manufacturer for doing that. I think it's just great. How many times do you try to put your SIM card in and it didn't go, or you tried to get out and like you nearly bust the phone, right? So I think that's just fantastic. This is the only manufacturer I've ever seen that did that. So it's pretty easy to get the case back on, just kind of snap it all the way around, and then it's pretty much done. And you just kind of take a look around, make sure you got it all right. You know, on this side you've got a volume rocker. It's not very exciting. You know, there's a volume rocker there. And then the other side is a kind of power, right? But all in all, it's a very light phone. For the size of the phone and what you get, it's quite light. And, you know, out of the box, it's a big phone. It's a 4.8-inch screen. It's oversized. Like, I have big hands, so most people's hands, this is not going to fit in their hand comfortably to be able to make a one-hand kind of typing experience work. But you can still get around. You can still do things, but, you know, you might be doing one of these. And that's not uncommon either, because if you've ever used a QWERTY keyboard device, you'd be doing this anyway. So, you know, it's not the end of the world that it's a little bit bigger. So let's turn it on, and we'll take a look at how this guy runs. It boots up pretty quick. Do 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 do. There we go. So it's taking you to a lock screen, which I've put in a pattern. So here, I'll just do the pattern real quick. Alright, and there you go. So it kind of looks like that. This is Android 4.04, Ice Cream Sandwich, ICS. You know, it's pretty zippy. You know, you can kind of just, you know, scroll through your stuff for the most part. This device has a drop-down screen like you've seen around probably, but I kind of like that you can turn it on and off the different features that you're using, right? Let's see if my thing here will catch up. There it goes a little bit. So yeah, it's telling me that I've got a few things to update. So, and it automatically lets you know via email or notification through the top bar that you can get these things updated. It's interesting that, you know, you have all these options. You don't have this kind of stuff available with your iOS or BlackBerry stuff right now, but I'm sure it's coming along at some point. It doesn't like automatically notify you and start doing stuff for you, which is nice. I kind of like that automated feel, that it just kind of goes and, you know, does stuff for you, and it's just, you know, it just keeps going, right? So right now it's downloading updates, and it's automatically installing them for me and notifying me at the same time. You know, on your computer, you would know that, okay, it's going, but it's not really telling you what it's doing. It's just going, right? But in this case, it's telling you what it's doing at the same time. So I've heard that Jelly Bean is going to be on this at some point, maybe in the next few months. I've used this on quite a few different places, and I've taken pictures, and I've done a lot of things. So I've spent at least a couple days on it. I tested it with a non-LTE SIM card and with an LTE SIM card. So I've done both. I I remember that the non-LTE SIM card seemed to have a little bit better signal in rural areas. The LTE SIM card did pretty good as well, but not as well. Probably because there's not as many towers in the area, and it relies closer to Edge and 3G in those areas at that time. It's not the fault of the phone; it's really a network thing. So, and where you are in proximity to an actual tower. It went pretty good, and the internet on this phone is pretty quick. It's nice and fast on the browser. Really, if you're anywhere near regular life, a decent tower, in a city, or even just anywhere where you're not in the bush, you'll get very good speeds, and it'll be really a decent browsing experience. Not only that, the call quality is pretty good. The volume is loud, like it sounds good for the in-call experience. You are not going to get the same experience with, say, a Galaxy Nexus or the earlier versions of this device, like the S2. I don't know why that is. They've done something to improve the sound quality, and it worked. As far as the phone's concerned, you've got quite a few really big buttons, by the way. Look how big those buttons are. They're huge. You're really not going to miss those buttons. And you've got, as far as menus are concerned in the phone area, keypad, logs, favorites, and contacts. I'll see if I can get it up there. There it goes. Pretty good. Your contacts, like the whole experience with this interface is very quick and zippy. But what I did find, which is pretty strange, I find it strange, but the screen is very sensitive. If you kind of do something like this, or you're not looking what you're doing, boom, you'll be you'll be somewhere else. See what I'm saying? So you really have to watch what you're up to, and you just kind of you gotta lock it, right, using the power button. Right, because otherwise it'll be in your pocket and you'll call Hong Kong or something. So it's best that you don't leave it unlocked in your pocket, because it really will go into another menu and go somewhere else and do something else. It's pretty good as far as the sound quality, really. So I'm going to recommend this as a decent phone for sound quality and voice quality in the phone call, as well as the notification sounds. They're also pretty loud. So you're probably going to have a decent experience if you bought a phone like this and you're going to try it out. Another thing about that is pretty decent so far is the Bluetooth. I've yet to have it disconnect, and it's been because I use the Blue Ant Q2 for the most part for most of my headset journeys, and so I found that it disconnected day and night with the iPhone. It drove me just batty. It's always disconnecting with the iPhone. I don't know why, but it always does. And this one is yet to disconnect. Another phone that it didn't disconnect with is the BlackBerry 9900. But this one here, so far in my tests, have not disconnected, and the sound quality has been loud and fairly decent. So there are a few things that I consider kind of prominent and very important with smartphones. One is the Bluetooth. Another one is the signal, or radio signal. And the other one is sound quality, voice quality, in-call quality. And the last one, which is probably just my preference, is that Interac money transfers. Being able to send and receive money from the phone using either the app or the browser. And If your phone can't do that, it's a fail in my book. But this one is fine in that department because of the speed and the quality of the ICS, as well as having an app and a very good browser. So you're going to be able to do all of those things that I've listed, and you'll be able to pretty much do quite a bit more things. The keyboard, oh boy. Okay, the keyboard. Now, I'm using, in this case, a replacement keyboard. There we go. Anyway, let's get this right. Okay, this particular keyboard is a SwiftKey 3 replacement. The regular keyboard, it's alright, the standard Android keyboard, but honestly, if you can get a replacement keyboard, get one. This one was, I think it was $2 or something like that. You can get it off the Play Store. It's just better, but you know, keyboards in general on Android are not exactly, you know, fantastic. It's kind of a little bit of a rough typing experience, partially because of the autocorrect. It sucks. It just does. But the typing experience with the SwiftKey 3 has been pretty good for me. Let's see if I can get you the icon so you can see it. There it goes, right there. So you see on the top there, there's like looks like a briefcase, and it's a down arrow, and then a checkbox, and some other stuff. Well, the down arrow is just a notification saying that it's downloading something. And then across the bottom, let's see if I can get this. You've got, yeah, just the usual suspects there. The full app catalog, your email, internet, and phone. Those actually can be moved around, but you can't really move around the other ones. They're kind of stuck in place unless you move it from one screen to the other, because this has multiple screens. So you know, you can sort of, you know, right? Unless you have an empty spot on one of those other screens, you can't really move your icons around and do anything with them. You know, the only things that can move is the ones on the bottom, which is kind of odd, and I can't really understand why they did that in the first place. It just doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, obviously this has widgets, like all Android phones, and the fancy S Voice. Okay, so there's S Voice. It really doesn't work worth of anything. Well, Siri is a little bit better, but this is really.
I'm not sure what you mean by perfect, so there is a scores.
Exactly. You don't have a clue. What time is it? Hey. It knows basic things. This is actually VLingo from what I checked into. The S Voice is AKA VLingo, I think, and I've not found any more information contrary to it. It will do things like, you know, open an app, or you know, what time it is and the weather, and it'll do the basic stuff, and or you know, reminders and saving information and things like this. But it doesn't have the AI features that Siri has. Not that anybody else is really using those features at this time, because they're more into using the phone or device as a tool rather than talking to it like a friend. So does S Voice work? Well, it works as a tool, as it should. It doesn't work as a companion, to say the least. So yeah, this is a Samsung Galaxy S3 on Rogers Wireless. It functions well. It's a good device. It's fast, it's clean, it's sharp. It does a lot of things. It has not shown me any errors. I haven't gotten any application errors. It hasn't failed. The sound quality is nice. The voice quality is good. Pictures are sharp. It sounds like a camera does. It does not have a dedicated camera button, and for some reason, it also doesn't have a way to assign a key like you can on a BlackBerry. Let me see if I can get this sound going. So it's pretty quick sounding, and it does the job well. I've taken video and I've done photos, and it's very good. It's just as good as the iPhone is. You know, in some cases it actually outperformed it. And I've tested an iPhone extensively, so they're both excellent cameras. There's no way you could have a miss with either phone as far as the camera is concerned, either video or straight shots, plain shots or video. So very good. Applications run pretty good on this, and it's just that for some reason Android, not the phone, Android applications are not as good as iOS apps. It's something in the coding, and I found that Android apps are buggy compared to iOS apps. I don't know what it is. It's something that we as users or consumers are not able to control, and we just, but overall there's hundreds of thousands of apps available, and you'll probably be just fine. And most of them are just going to work perfectly fine as well. So you're not going to worry about it. But as a tech person's, viewpoint, I find them to be buggy and have issues from time to time. The average person will not find the problems that I'm finding unless it's really broken. So, in closing, I have a case that I bought for this guy. Even though you don't really need one to hold it and get around with. Say for instance, it bounces or falls or does something else like that. You're probably going to want to get some kind of a case. I tried out some of the Samsung cases, which were fine. There was a flip case that I liked, but I found it not so useful because you can't take a picture with it. So I got this guy here, kind of a shell case. It's and it just sort of slips on, right? And you just throw it in there, and so it looks like that. I think it was $25 or something of the sort. It works pretty good. It's good in the hand. It's got a kind of a rubbery, slippery, and non-slip, sort of feel. And you can put it in your car, and it's not going to fall down. That's why I got it, because I didn't want it to fall down. It's got the spots for all the things that you need. It's open on the top, and it's open on the bottom for your charging port. I'm using a BlackBerry charger for this. For the micro USB, and it's gonna, I'm using it in the car for that. So there is no such thing as a Samsung charger. So power is power is power for the most part, but not in all cases. But in this case, it should be just fine, and it does charge to 100%. So I'm not recommending it, but I'm suggesting that it's possible, and I'm using it myself. So this has been a review and an unboxing for Samsung Galaxy S3 running on Rogers Wireless. If you want more information or check out the detailed review, you can go to wix1.com, wix1.com. Thanks for checking it out.